Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? I shut my phone off so that the dings will quit. My phone updated, so nothing's working right. Even my little dings are different. So yeah, it's getting used to things. So let's see who else in here. Tammy has a doctor's appointment. That's fine. Melinda's got one today too. So that's okay. Life gets in the way of fun all the time. Hi, Carol. Hi, Elise. Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Anna. Let's see. Hi, Pam. We got the start of a pretty good group. Hi, Kendra. How are you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Hi, Angel. Everybody coming in. Guess y'all are excited about today's class. Oh, I feel for you, Kendra. I went through that years ago. They denied my disability because my husband made too much money. Yeah, I don't ask me. I can't figure that one out either. So, hi, Marcia. Is this your first time, Marcia? If it is, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope I can teach you a few little tricks today. We got some fun stuff in store. Now, folks, if we don't get through all of it today, we've always got Thursday's class. So don't pressure yourself, okay? Don't put too much on you that you can't handle, okay? I want you to fine tune what you're doing and not stress over it. For the new students, you'll catch up. Y'all have to excuse me. I got a cough drop in. I have a horse in my throat. He's got a friend called a frog. Yeah, I wish y'all the luck, Kendra. It's hard to get your disability. It's like they don't want to give it to you. You pay it in, but they don't want to give it to you. That's, it just sucks. So I fought it for 5 years. And then after that, I just said, heck with it. But I haven't worked in, I'm going to venture to say, a good 35 years. Not a real job. Just, help out here, help out there. That's all. Because, anytime you got back problems, yeah, there's times you can't even move. Winter is no fun. Yeah, but they don't look at it that way. They don't look at it that way. I don't know why well, yeah, I do, because there's people that, they go out and they get hurt and, like break their foot or something and they're disabled, and they take advantage of the system. And that hurts the people that deserve the benefit. I was working at the time because I had gotten hurt on the job. Hi, dear B. And I went back to work because they told me I could go back to work. And I started breaking down really bad. And I went to the doctors. I said, I don't know what's going on. I'm just hurting here, there, and everywhere. Oh, well, great news, Marcia. But yeah, I went to the doctor and he took x-rays and an MRI, and they couldn't get me off the table and in the MRI room. So they said, you'll be back next week. Sure enough, I was. And when I went back to see him, it's like, what truck hit you? And I just looked at him kind of funny. I said, how did you know I got hit by a truck? He said, because nobody's back could be messed up like this one is unless they were hit by something big. And I got hit by a dump truck, rear-ended. I was stopped. He wasn't. So, yeah. No fun. I suffer with it still today, but I refuse to let it take my life away. I do what I can do. The rest is history. But don't let it get you down, Kendra. Don't let it get you down, honey. Because if you do, you give up. You don't need to give up. Thank you, Anna. Hi, Miss Mavis. Now I'm going to teach these techniques in both shuttle and needle today. I'm going to hit both sides of that coin. So it may take a little longer to get through everything. And that's why I say, come Thursday, we'll finish up where we left off. Because these are techniques you're going to need for the tat and chat. Okay? Because Renalec puts these techniques in most of her patterns. Every pattern she's got these. You're going to be fine. You got a strong support group right here. Every one of us will help you any way we can. Well, I brought back a good memory then. That's awesome. I got a commercial. Do you believe this? They're giving me this commercial. I told them I didn't want commercials. They don't listen. When we do the tat and chat, we won't have commercials. We're getting all the kinks worked out so y'all have videos to go back and reflect on the tat and chat. Yeah, they're going to put them in sporadic in different places. Like I say, when we go to the tat and chat, we're not going to have to contend with those commercials. If you miss something when you watch the replay, odds are you're not going to miss it the second time around. And I think that's YouTube's way of making you watch the replays. I mean, people were skipping through the commercials, so now they're making you watch the commercials. I can show y'all my goodies, though, if you'd like to see my goodies. Or should we wait? I've been packing. I will tell you that. I've been packing. I've cleared off a lot of the desk of pretties. I've got little things that I sit around that just bring smiles to my face. And I've packed them up. All my minions are packed away. I'm depressed now because I like my minions. Well, y'all remember we glued the heart to stiffen it? Here she is. You see that? She's stiff. She's not bending. She's not moving. No matter where you get it, she's stiff. You can you hear it? It's stiff as a board. That's how you stiffen your tatted pieces. Drop it in the glue, let it absorb it in. Yep. This cost 1/10 of what that stiff stuff cost. It's school glue. Okay, it's just school glue mixed with water. There you go. Now, the one we pinned out and let it air dry. We air blocked it. That's the little puppy. You see how flimsy it is. There's no glue to stiffen this. But if you tap really tight, That helps to stiffen it, but it will never be as stiff as this. Okay. So, yeah, heed my advice. You want snowflakes that hang like snowflakes and they're pretty and they're stiff. That's what you use. Three-dimensional angels, same deal. Just make sure you get the excess glue off and shape it before it dries. Don't try to do that after. You won't. You have to wash it. Now, if you wash this, the glue's going to come out. Hi, Teresa. But you seal it with that clear varnish. All you got to do is rinse it off with water if it gets dirty. Okay? So, yeah. Not stiff, stiff. What do you think? Yeah, 1 to 1. I use 2 to 1 on my glue to make sure it gets it super stiff. And then I'll go over it with the ceramic coat, something. I can't think of the name right off the top of my head. But I go over at that, and then my snowflakes are nice and pretty all the time. Hi, Miss Teresa. Hi, Mr. Teresa. Hi, Mr. Bennett. Silver, how are you doing today? I love your attitude. We're going to have some fun. We are. But I want to show you things with both tools today. And like I say, we probably won't get everything covered today. There's always Thursday. Then Thursday, I'm going to give you a fun little pattern that you can do over the weekend. Okay? It's a small one. But you'll be able to do it. Aurora, you made it. I got to give you my heart. Hi, Janella. I'll show my goodies to everybody after the class really gets going so they can see. And then we'll get started. I had this cough drop in my mouth and it dries my mouth out. Why does cough drops do that? I thought they're supposed to help with the frogs. They do help with the frogs, but they make your mouth dry. Plus, it opens up my sinuses. Yeah, everything's blooming. Isn't it nice? Hi, Brenda. Glad you made it. Yeah, I got a horse and a frog. They're competing. I have been known to lose my voice because of allergies, especially if they get real bad. And it looks like this year's going to be a rough one. I woke up, this ear stopped up. It's clear now. After I took my allergy medicine, it cleared up. So I'm running around with one ear. Bad part is this is my good ear. So everything's muffled. I'm deaf in this one. I can't hear nothing out of this ear. You get hairballs? I probably do too. Hi, Monica. Glad you made it. I do want to show y'all something. Y'all ever seen one of these? Not this, but this. Y'all ever seen one of these? I have to show you what this is. This is going to blow your mind. It's Tatter's friend. It's a Sora's friend, too. I'll show you what it is. But it's the coolest thing since sliced cheese. I'm just telling you. I just love it. Oh, there goes the sirens. We had the other night, we had a police officer pulled somebody over on the highway. While he had him pulled over, somebody rammed the back of the police car, and the police car rammed into the back of the person's car, and the cop was hit. And they had his funeral the other day. And now they're just up and down the highway everywhere. If you sneeze, you're getting pulled over. Nope, I didn't give you one. I just got this one. I think you think it's something else, and it's not. We got 5 minutes. That's all. 5 minutes. 5. Y'all got any questions from the other day? I know I got a lot of them in the mail. I answered everybody except for Melinda. I didn't answer because I was going to tell her about it today. So I'll bring it up today if we get to that technique. Great, Janella. We are going to have so much fun. We are. It is going to be a blast. I'm kidding you. We're going to have too much fun. I got news for everybody, though. Not everybody knows. I have a project for y'all. And it's a requested project from someone that is very important. In case you're wondering, my dog is laying over here on the floor and I'm watching her. She's just losing it today. Hello, Miss Brenda. Got 3 minutes, folks. 3 minutes. Then I can give you all the good news, all the fun stuff. Then we can get started. I want everybody to say hello to Mary Jane. She is in the house today. And she is doing really good. It is 2:58. I don't see no harm in getting started, do y'all? I say let's get this puppy going. What y'all think? First of all, no, I'll wait on that. I want to show everybody. Remember the other day in class, we stiffened our tatting with glue. Remember this heart? Remember that heart? She's not bending. She's not going nowhere. I can grab her by picot. She not bending. She's not going anywhere. She's stiff. Okay? The key was dropping this in the glue and letting the glue absorb into the thread. Once it's sunk on its own completely into the glue, okay, it absorbed it. It ate it up. It set in there. Then we pulled it out and we laid it on the seal mat. I call them a seal mat because it's silicone mat, and that's what they're called, it's a seal mat. And I cleared all the glue away from all my little holes and stuff, and I moved it over to a clean spot, wiped up all the stuff, the glue on the side, and let it dry. About 3 hours later, this is what I got. Stiff as a board. That's the key. If you don't let it soak it in all the way, you will not get the stiffness you want. This is 1/10 the cost of stiff stuff. The difference is with stiff stuff, I believe it's a permanent stiffener. I'm not sure. I have not used stiff stuff. I've always used this, and I used a varnish that crafters use, paint varnish. It's for the watercolors and stuff, okay? But it makes it permanent so your paint doesn't wash off every time you wash the item, okay? So I use that on here. Not yet, I haven't. And I'll let that soak in. Then I pull it out and do the same thing with that. Let it dry on its own, okay? I don't brush anything on. I let it soak in. That way you get thorough covering on your piece, okay? You can use polyurethane spray, take a bunch of them outside and spray them. That waterproofs them so that you can run them underwater and they're not going nowhere. But they are going to be super stiff. But polyurethane will, with age, will yellow. Remember that. That's why they use it on wood, because wood changes its color as it ages. So as the polyurethane yellows, so does the wood. Okay. So that said, this is the one we just blocked, wet blocked. As you can see, she's floppy. Okay. That's what'll happen with the wet block, but that's okay. If that's what you're looking for, that's okay. If you tat tight, your tatting will be tight enough that you're not going to have to do much. Okay. Doilies, things like that, you don't want to stiffen, not unless you want the ruffles. Okay. And if you don't want ruffles, you want a flat doily, just use, a wet block or a steam block on it. So that took care of these goodies. Now, Pam thinks I gave her one of these. Okay. I didn't. What she got was a Orts pouch. Okay. Anybody that is a person that does needlework and stuff, they know what an Orts pouch is. It's a little pouch that catches your threads. Okay. And then you just dump them. Okay. And I gave her one of those. That's not what this is. This goes inside here and it's magnetic. Okay. Doesn't fall out. But when you need to use it, you turn it over. You see that slit? Drop it in there. It's going to come out. It's not held in there. Okay. But you sit it on your desk. And if you need to cut your tatting, you need to cut your ends. That's what you do. And it will cut your ends. Okay. I use this on my sewing machine. When I'm sewing, I can cut the ends real fast and I'm not chasing a pair of scissors all the time. Okay. Now I got this. They're $9 at Amazon. They come in 2 different colors. But I like the idea. It's magnetized. It doesn't go anywhere. You can't get it out of there when you put it in its case. So there's no chance of anybody getting cut by it. Now, They do have the ones that are refillable. And this one is a refillable, but you got to take it apart, and you can use used rotary blades in here. Okay. So if you're interested, you can go to my Amazon shop. It's in there. It's neat. It's really neat. It saves a lot of time and trouble for anybody that works with fine threads. Okay. You don't want to cut the thread. This will do it for you. You just run the thread up through there and it's gone. If it's something like you've got, let's see what I got in my little bin over here. Come here, one of y'all. I just need one. Yeah, we'll do that one. Okay. You've got threads you want to cut up close. All you have to do is pull the thread like this through and slide it. It will not cut the threads up close. Okay? See? Because this blocks it. And it will close cut that thread without cutting the caps of your thread stitch or anything. It'll cut it right up next to it. That's what I like, especially on fine threads. Okay? When you use fine threads like 80, 100, so forth, that's great to have. So that's a little keeper for you. Now, today we are going to discuss onion rings. We're going to discuss split rings. We're going to discuss throne rings. And we're going to discuss Catherine wheel join. What do all these have in common? Well, when done and done properly, they add texture, they add depth, they add beauty to your tatting in a very unusual way. Okay? And it's all done just with technique. Okay? How we manipulate the thread. The Catherine wheel join stops blips of color in your thread. It hides it. When you tat two different colors, when you turn your tatting over, you get this little blip of color where your joins are. Catherine wheel join stops that. It's also called the blipless join. Yes, we have two different names. The two techniques are done just a hair different from each other, but they both succeed in hiding that blip of color. Okay, now I'm going to teach y'all how to do that today, along with how to make an onion ring, how to make a throne ring, and the throne ring be an onion ring, okay, and also how to do a split ring. Hi, Deborah. Now, the split ring can be done in 7 different ways. I have all 7 up on the site. Okay, you can go look at the beginner videos and just start watching. It's in there. The split ring is considered a beginner technique. It's beginner intermediate. Okay, for those of you that are not familiar with where the techniques come in, that they come in different levels. Okay, but there's certain techniques that is used majority of the time. When it comes to jumping through hoops, and they're flaming hoops, tatters tend to not like those. They create them flaming hoops so that it achieves a goal that particular tatter wanted. But then you've got the people that are stuck in the mud, okay, like me. Yours truly. I am not going to do a technique that is difficult to the point I'm ready to pull my hair out. Hi, Lou. Welcome to the class. I'm not going to do a technique that is only useful once every 6 years. Okay, if it's not useful for every tatting project I do, I'm not going to waste my time. I know how to do it, but I'm not going to waste my time. Okay, and you know, if you want to take that extra mile and walk it, that's your flavor. Go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. Okay. But I'm just not going to make tatting something that I love and enjoy highly become a chore. And when something becomes a chore, hi, Desiree. You all keep Desiree and her family in your thoughts and prayers, please. They have lost a loved one, and Desiree's with her family right now. So y'all give her a, thought and a prayer that the whole family can get through this trying time and come out better for it on the other side. Okay. All right. Back to what I'm saying. Anytime you have to make a chore out of something you love, you lose interest. Okay. Anytime you make something you love to do costly, it makes a difference and you lose interest. So when I teach you something, I will teach you one way to do it, and I will teach you as many other ways as there is, and I will give you an honest opinion on what is the easiest way, what is the less costly way, and the more enjoyable way. Okay. So, but it ultimately is your decision. Everybody tats their own pace, everybody tats their own way, and everybody tats what they want and the way they want. I've got students that needle tat. I don't have a problem with needle tatters. I was a needle tatter. I personally don't like the look of needle tatting. It's too loose for my taste. Hence, I tat tightly, and you could throw stars. My Christmas snowflakes could be throwing stars. I'm just saying, you'd probably kill somebody with mine. But needless to say, at least injure them, But when you enjoy your tatting, and as you move along through your tatting journey, you're going to hunger for different things. Okay, I want to do this with my tatting, or I want to do that with my tatting. And that's what these classes are about. We not only want you to learn to tat, but we want you to learn to tat and make it useful in today's world. Okay? And that's what we're doing. We're taking it into the next century, the next millennial. I mean, we want it around for a long time. And people don't use doilies. I do. Okay. But people don't use doilies anymore. They don't use the cloths under the bread tray anymore. There's certain things. I got a commercial, of course. Yes, I got a commercial. Teacher got a commercial. All right. Once you get into it, you see there's doilies. You see there's this, there's that. Well, you can use tatting and make a jacket. You can use tatting and make a piece of art. You can use tatting and make jewelry. You can use tatting and make clothes. You can use tatting and make a hat. You can use tatting and make a shoe. You can use tatting and make a pocketbook. And you can do whatever you want with it. It's just like every other craft. It's how far will your imagination take you? Okay? And that's what these classes are teaching. How far can you take tatting to keep it up to date with today's society? Okay? So think about that while you're working through your journey. What do you want tatting to give back to you? We have many, many designers that write patterns. And the patterns that they share have a purpose. Okay? And everybody has a thought, and it's worth a try. Okay? I'm not saying just because you thought of it to work it that way and use it in that method, it's wrong. I say try. Nothing's wrong if you try. Okay? So remember that. So there's you some lessons to think about. Tatting world needs some up and coming designers. We do. We need more teachers. And I'm telling you, if you want to go out and start a YouTube channel, knock yourself out. I'll be the first to back you. I will promote your channel just like I do everybody else's. I don't have a qualm. But I want you to share what you know. Pay it forward. Okay? That way tatting stays alive. It will fall off the ends of the earth if we don't, folks. Okay? And I don't want the founder of these classes to be forgotten. All right? Because she's asked a special request. By the way, folks, I talked to her over the weekend. Her and Richard, they're doing fine. But we have a special request from her. She loves cards. She loves cards with tatting on them. She loves cards with tatting in them. And she misses the cards. And what she is asking from the students is all of you to make a card, buy a card, and make some tatting to go on the card or in the card. And mail it to her with, what do you think the classes are doing for you? Okay? So Georgia herself has requested that from you all. Now, I realize a lot of you, a little shy about your tatting. You think you're not good enough. Well, I got news for you. You're good enough for Georgia. Don't ever forget it. She knows we all start somewhere. We all progress at our own pace. She's not looking at the work you're doing. She's looking at how beautiful you've done. Okay? So if you are interested, contact us by emailing us through the classes, and we will get you the information that you need to do a card with tatting. All right? And we'll go from there. So with that said, let's move on. How about that, folks? But yeah, they're doing great. They're doing great. And she may or may not go to Tat Days this year. She hasn't decided. She said she'd let us know. So till she lets us know, it's a question mark. Okay. So let's go downtown. All right. Let me switch these cameras out. Y'all hearing me okay? I hope so. I got my thingy on here. All right, let me see if I got everything. I got it all. Got it all. Got it all. Now let's zoom in. Let's go in a little bit. Now I can bring things up and show you. We can walk it through. But here's what I want you all to do. Well, how did that happen? Oh my goodness. There we go. Melinda's here. Hi, Melinda. I am so glad you made it. All right. Today, this is the start of an onion ring. Okay? Now, this onion ring here that we're going to start is a count of 5 picot, 5 picot, 5 picot, 5. Generic count. Okay? It's nobody's pattern. Got that? So, what you're going to do is you're going to tat up a ring that consists of that. All right? Now, pay very close attention. We are using a shuttle. We are not attached to another shuttle. We're not attached to a ball, because we are just doing a basic onion ring. Okay? And a basic onion ring is a ring with outer rings. Now, Renelec usually only uses 2 rounds, okay? The ring and then the outer round. But there are patterns out there that can have up to 12 rounds on an onion ring. That said, 12 rounds on an onion ring could make that piece pretty big, okay? But it looks so good. And the reason they call it an onion ring, have you ever sliced an onion down the center? That's what it looks like. It's all the layers of that onion, okay? So today we are going to do that, and we are going to do just a generic, regular onion ring. Now we tat up our ring, and the next thing we're going to do, see my thread here? You keep that tail out of your way. You wrap your hand for the loom. Okay? You want to turn that ring 1/4 turn to the right if you're a right-handed tatter, to the left if you're a left-handed tatter. You always want the onion ring to turn the direction of the working shuttle. Working shuttle is the only shuttle we own right now. Okay? You're going to lay this thread coming from the shuttle across. These two will meet here in the front. Okay? This one will lay on top of that one. You lay it there and you put it in the pinch. Okay? Am fair. Don't know the address. What's your name, sweetie? You must be a new student. If you are, very welcome to, and very glad to have you. All right. So we're going to fold those two together, one on top of the other, and put it in the pinch. For you new students, the pinch is where you grab your work at between the thumb and the index finger, or if you're a crocheter, some people will do it like this. Okay, the thumb and the middle finger. Either way, it's fine. If you're comfortable, it's fine. All right. That said, I am a crocheter, but I haven't crocheted since I picked up the tatting. So there's your answer to that one. Anyway, you put the two together in the pinch. Now you're going to make the first half of that double stitch. Beginners, pay very close attention because this is going to help you. You go under, see that? Let's start it over. Going to roll our hand, and you're going to go under that thread. See how I've got that hand? Go under, pull your shuttle up, over, and back through that loop. Okay? Oh, Ann! Now I know. Awesome. Welcome, Miss Ann. All right, now you pull it back through the loop. You see, we've got a little mess going on here. Drop that finger. See the shuttle? Pull it tight. When you pull it tight, you flip that stitch. Okay? Now you want that stitch to land right there beside your onion ring, beside the ring. You're creating the onion part. Now the second half of that is you go over, under, back through that bottom loop. Bring it down. You want those stitches to transfer. So we're going to do this. Let me get down here and y'all see. Going under, over, through the loop, lower the middle finger and bring that stitch down. Second half, over, under, through that loop, loosen the middle finger and bring that stitch down. Okay? Now, onion rings have a funny way of fooling us. All right? As we step out on our rounds, we have to add more double stitches. The way to count is to put in the count that we started with, which was 5. That's 3. This is 4. And this is 5. Okay? And you check to see if it's going to line up with this join. If it is, you bring that shuttle thread across the top of the work. Put it in the pinch. You go down through this picot. You grab the thread on your loom and you pull it up. Okay? Make sure your thread is not twisted and lay it over the finger. Take your shuttle down through. Pull it down to the join. Don't let it go back through. All right? Don't let it drop back through. Now we're going to put in our next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Now I want to show you guys something. When I did that, can y'all see it? Because this next join here is, let me get me some thread here. Get this all worked out. You see that sucker spinning? Look at that. She's flying there. Okay. Now I want you to see something. Can you all see the little indentation right there? That's what happens when you join using a regular onion ring join that's been done since Tina Frauberger. Okay? Been that many years. 1800s, I'm saying. 1900, something like that. You get this little indentation. It's hard to get that indentation out. You have to reach in there. You got to work with it. You got to pull it up. Blah, 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 blah. But if you use the Catherine wheel join, you get a more fluent join. Okay? Now, we are up to our next join. Y'all paying attention? You want to go down through here, under this thread. Grab this thread and pull it up. Place it on our finger. Again, we don't want it to twist. All right. Now, you want to go up. Pull it back down and pop it back through the back. Okay. Now, take your little pick or whatever you got on the end of your shuttle and pull that back up, that loop. Okay. See what I'm doing? You want to come back up here. Now you want to place that right here. Wait a minute, I did that backwards. Sorry, folks. You got to get that over there. Yeah. Get everything lined up. Then come this way. Did I do it wrong? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. It's working. It's working. It's working. There we go. And you bring it down. Let's see. Nope, I did lock it up. Y'all, it's been a while. You see why I don't go out for the fancy ticks? And I do this every time I do the Catherine wheel join. Let's pull it back through. Because I think, yeah, that's what I did wrong. All right, shoot me in the foot. When you pull it back through, because it's not on the shuttle thread, it's not locked up. It won't catch you. And yes, you're going to do this 10,001 times in your tatting career. And that's okay. All right, that's how we learn. Let me see what I did here. Get over there. There it goes. Yeah, it has to go back through. And you pick it up. Aurora, what am I doing? Am I doing it wrong again? Yes, I am. I'm going to have to go watch the video. How many of y'all do that? Yeah, it's Murphy Day. I do that getting up this morning. I don't even want to tell you what happened when I got up this morning. I mean, seriously, I don't want to tell any of y'all what happened when I got up this morning. I got up, got out of the bed, and since everything's blooming, I can't hardly see what I'm doing because my eyes are watering. I look like I'm crying all the time. Walk right into the wall. I've got a big hinky on my face from walking into that wall. Now, mind you, I just did this Catherine wheel join 10 minutes before class. Okay, let's try it again. I did it the wrong direction, didn't I? Mary Lee will shoot me. Yeah, that's what I did. Went the wrong direction with it. No, no, no. All right, we're going to skip it. We got a video. I'm going to put the video up because I can't see it. I can't even see what y'all are saying. The mighty pin. Hi, hi, hi. You're not late. You're just fine. Jeannie, you're fine. Any questions? Yeah, I'm just not. I'm brain farting right now. But we can move on. We can move on. We can move on from that. There is a video. I've put up a bunch of videos. Did y'all see them? How many did you all watch those videos? What was that? Okay, Mia, hush. Husband knocked over something again. That's been my day, folks. It's been my day. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put that video up for the Catherine wheel join because I cannot for the life of me think of how to do it again, of course. Let me get the link here. Now, mind you, this video is some of my early work. So y'all just grin and bear it, okay? That is the Catherine wheel join, okay? You got your supplies for class. Don't ask me why. I cannot think for the life of me today. Y'all just bear with me a little bit. We'll just move on with the regular joins on this. We can get through with this onion ring and you can see this onion ring. Remember, we're going to have the dipples on it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay. Go up. Pull it down. Wrong joint, didn't I? Man, what is going on? Quit, Mia. Stop. She is sitting here licking my leg. There we go. We got it. We got it locked in there. Lay it in place and move on. We can still do the Catherine wheel later. I'll come back to it next week when I got a brain. Shouldn't have washed my hair today. I may have washed my brains out. Okay, we got that. We go on around and continue. Wrong one. Grab the right one. Yep. Brain, what do you do? Okay. And we keep continuing on until we get to the bottom. Okay. I'm sorry if y'all hear my husband. He's got headphones on. He works and he forgets he's got headphones on. And that's okay. We just deal with it. He's got big updates coming up this weekend with work, and they're all, you know how the bosses are. They got to be sure everybody knows what's going on. Okay. Lay our onion ring down and piece that thing together. And it will look like an onion once we're done. But you can see why you want to do the Catherine wheel join. Okay? And follow those instructions. It shows you on the onion ring how to do the Catherine wheel join and lay it out to where it lays right. but you fiddle with it and fiddle with it. Like I say, some of these things are a pain to deal with. You just have to work with it if you want the pretty. Okay, there you go. Onion ring. Okay, let me see if I can see that. Oh, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll be okay. I just got a boopy. Thank you, Anna. Thank you very much. I'm just demonstrating skill today. Okay, these are things we're going to need for the catalog, tat and chat. No, Desiree, I'm not doing a lock join. I kept doing a lock join, don't know why, but the Catherine wheel join is evading me. I don't use it enough. Okay, I am a traditional tatter. Okay, Catherine will come out long after I started tatting. It way I look at it, because I learned the old way, the original way to tat. Okay, so but you can see the little humpties that it leaves along the way. Now, if you tat really, really loose, this is not another. Thank you, Aurora. This is not loose. This is tight. I have to control my tension. Okay. I really have to work to control my tension. But if you don't tat tight, it'll give you the looseness you need for this to lay like it's supposed to. But this is what the onion ring will look like. The Catherine wheel join makes it more pronounced. I wouldn't hit the like button. I wouldn't ask them to do it because I can't remember how to do the Catherine wheel join. Why, I don't know. Okay, it's nothing wrong. Don't worry, folks. Everything's peaches and cream. Okay, I just got full plate. I was up late last night, and this is not an excuse. We're having to move. We ain't got but 4 weeks to move this thing. We've been parked for a year and a half. So yeah, I'm finding nooks and crannies. I can't even think how to do that, Aurora. My brain is just not functioning today. I'm being serious. I don't get enough sleep. I was up till almost 1 this morning packing because I've got so much to do. And my husband, he can't help with the packing because he works full-time job. So that's why everything's the way it is. So y'all just have to bear with me. Okay. So anyway, you fidget with it, and you fidget with it. And they're fiddly. Anything pretty is fiddly. It's just like Josephine knots, Josephine rings, the Josephine chain. You have insomnia? I wished I could say that. I don't have insomnia. I got to have my 8 hours. But I was up at 7 this morning. So yeah. I got a lot to do. We live in a 42-foot camper. And we've been parked for a year and a half. So there you go. That is the issue, and not enough rest. But I got a lot of packing to do, a lot of locking down to do so that we can move it. That 7:30 in the morning is just a rough one, isn't it? All right. So we got the onion ring gist of it. But those videos, I've got you the Catherine wheel join. Now I'm going to share the video for the onion ring for shuttle and needle both for you guys, okay? Because I want my needle tatters to know how to do this. Okay, there is the onion ring for shuttle. And you've got the Catherine wheel join for shuttle. Now here is the onion ring for needle. Okay. Now, like I say, some of these are old. All right. And that's okay. You know, these are the older videos. The first ones I ever did. This is how I got hired by Georgia. So, and that's what I'm saying, you know, um, these techniques, these are the ones that Georgia hired me on. If it's the older ones, those are the ones that got me hired to make the videos for Georgia. Okay. And everything I know came from her, and it's on those videos. And one of her demands was tell them how many different names it has. So some of my videos, you'll get 17 names for one technique. It's because people will change it with, well, instead of flipping it this way, you want to flip it that way. And then they call it a whole nother technique. Yeah, those are my videos. They are not Georgia's videos. They are mine. Those are my hands. That is my voice. So, all right. So let's move on and let's do the onion split ring. That is the next thing I want to show you guys on here. And then I'm going to show you the throne ring and the throne ring on needle as well as on shuttle. Okay. And let's do split rings first. All right. For split ring tatting, okay, get your 2 colors of thread. Watch what you're doing. Warning. Okay. Watch what you're doing. All right. So you're going to wrap your hands. Let me zoom out. So we got plenty of room. I think I went too far. How about right there? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap our hand to make a ring. Okay? We're going to do 6 picot 6. First ring is going to be just a regular ring. We got 4, 5, and 6. Okay? We're going to put in our picot. Okay, we'll make it a pretty picot. And we'll put in our other 6. So we've got 2. Now we've got to drop our shuttle, pull our thread through because we need more thread, and watch it, little dance it does. It says, hey, yeah, all right. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to close that ring. Okay. Grab both ends of that ring and close. Close it. Once you get it closed, my nose will quit itching. You're going to reverse the work. You're going to put in 5 doubles. Or no, we're doing a split ring, aren't we? See what I mean? I really need to go to bed. Wrap our hand for another ring right behind that one. This is a split ring. We're doing a split ring. We're going to put in the right side first. So we put in 6 double stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I would give anything if I could see what I was doing. Yeah, I can't see nothing. My eyes are watering like crazy right now. It's frozen. Give it a second. It'll catch up. Don't ask me what's going on. It's YouTube's doing a lot of stuff too. So they was completely shut down the other day. YouTube was. All right. I think they got hacked. I'm not sure. Yeah, I did all those. All those are mine. Okay, now you want to roll your hand over. This is called the dead spider method. Okay, and you'll hear that. I don't like that name. I really don't, because I don't like spiders. Okay, but what I like to do is what they call the high 5 method. And what I do is I run my thumb up through there. I still have the loom around my hand. All right, but we're going to wrap our stitches on here and draw them over to the previous stitches. What I mean by wrapping, it's also called encapsulating, is you do not flip your stitches on the second half of a split ring. So you go the second half first of our double stitch and you draw it over. Okay? That knot's going to drive me to insanity and beyond, but that's okay. Then you're going to do the first half, under, over, draw it over. And I'm going to pull that knot back under because it keeps flipping. Draw it over, and lock that down in place. You see it? There's our double stitch. Now, do the second half first, first half second. We're not flipping. That's why the color of the thread is different. Okay? You want to do that 6 times. 6 times is what we got our count, right? Yeah, 6. So we've got 4, 5, and 6. Now, once you get your 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that is your split ring. Grab your shuttle, okay, the core shuttle or shuttle 1, and close. Okay, just close that ring. And what you're going to get is this. Now I want you to practice your split rings, okay, because they will come in handy on these patterns, okay? All right, so needless to say, practice your split rings, practice your onion rings. All right, now I showed you how to do this on shuttle. We've had several videos on shuttle, but today we're going to do it on needle. Now, I'm going to tell you what I've done so far. Do you see my thread here? It's not bending like the rest of my thread. That is because I took and I added glue, all-purpose school glue, okay, in on the end. I put some on my finger. I ran this through like this, okay, and as I was running it through, I was tightening that twist, okay. Once you do that, let's see, these 5s, it looks like those are 5s. That's a 5, it looks like, yeah. Maybe not. Let me see. I got a ton of tatting needles. You can tell I was a needle tatter there for a while. Let's see. Yeah, there's my 5 right there. I've got all sizes of tatting needles. I do use them. I'm just not as avid with needle as I used to be. Now, that glue stiffened that like a needle. Now, you can use this to thread beads on, not have to mess with a needle threader for beads. And you can also use it to thread your needle, if you can see the needle. If it doesn't go through, do this. Cut it on the slant, very tip of it. Just like that. Make it a needle. Give it a point so that it will feed. Okay? Pull it through. That's your tail. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. All right? I don't care if you use 20 thread when you're working or tatting. Doesn't matter to me. You're just going to waste a lot. Okay? When you're doing split rings, you wear this out. Okay? Anytime you take it out and in, out and in, out and in, you're wearing out the thread and you have to keep cutting back. So if you are mindful at what you're doing, you'll be careful, glue it, run it through, it will save you a ton of thread. Okay, now our split ring for needle goes like this. Let me get some thread off. We threaded our needle. You want 12 to 16 inches of tail depending on your project. The tail is the core to your tatting. So you really don't need 17 yards of thread. Okay, unless the pattern is going to be 17 yards of thread, you don't need 17 yards of thread. Okay, all your work, your stitches are coming from your ball. Okay, so you don't waste a lot of thread. Keep it at 12 to 16 inches. That should be ample enough to at least get halfway through. Okay, so then you want to bring your thread down here and make a loop. See my loop? You put the loop right here and you put your hand right there in the loop. Okay? Yeah, I know. You hold the thread perpendicular to the needle. You roll your hand like this for the first half stitch. Bop, bop, turn. Needle goes under and you pull your stitch down. Second half of that stitch, take that finger and go the other way. Try it again. Watch what I'm doing. Like that, and bend that finger over and grab that thread, and you just put the double stitch on. Okay, now you want to do that 6 times. 1, this would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this is the standard way that it's always done. I do have a video where I showed you all how you can use a shuttle on one end and then the needle, and you're not pulling the thread in and out. I'm not going to show that today. It probably will not be successful, just like with the Catherine wheel joint. Okay, so once you get these stitches on, turn your needle around. Okay, take your tail out gently. Don't go yanking your thread. Make sure your thread works with your needle. If you're using a size 7 needle and a size 3 thread, it's not going to work. Okay, let's get real. It's not going to work. Now, this side, you do the same thing. You're wrapping your stitches on. Okay, 1, 2. I forgot. We got to bring it down to that. Let's try that again. 1. Yep. Second half. Okay, we need to put these on backwards, reversed. It's been a while. It has been a while, folks. I did enjoy needle tatting to a certain extent. Okay, when you start getting into fine tuning and stuff, yeah, it's hard. Okay, you're gonna have to do rods on these. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we got our 6 stitches. So we'll have a total of 12 stitches on this needle. Okay, now you want to rethread your needle. Turn your needle back around, get your thread, start working it in. When you use the glue and you've twisted it down, make sure you make yourself a flat spot at the end of that thread. Okay, now pull that through. Grab our loop and we're going to close it. Now, normally you would start with a regular ring. I just showed you how to do the split ring. All right, now tie your knot. Once you knot off, your split ring is done. Easy peasy. You bit off the camera. What camera? I got out of camera. I'm sorry. So then you just move on. You're going to do another ring. Okay. Get your loop into place. Let's do it this way. Yeah. And start with your next ring. Bring it down. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and then you would do the same thing that you did before. Reverse your work. And then you do the second half of that ring. Okay, and that's all you do. That's needle tatting 101. Okay, for a split ring. And I'll show you. I'll finish it out. Not a problem. My ball back over here. All right, so we got to do second half first. 1. Once you get that first one done, there's 2. The rest is home free. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, we got our stitches on. What are we going to do? Turn our needle back around, rethread our needle. Okay. Now, when doing split rings, as you can see, we're using our tail for the second half. You will probably need a bigger tail depending on how many split rings that you're going to make. Okay. All right, Heather. Heather, I advise everyone to learn both forms and pick which one you want to know. Okay. But not everything can be done on needle that you can do on shuttle. Anybody that tells you that? No, they're wrong. You cannot do everything on needle that you can do on shuttle because a needle doesn't bend like a shuttle moves. Okay. Now I've got this last ring in here. We're going to close it, hold it in the pinch, close it. Get ready. We're going to tie our knot. What the hey I just went through there the wrong way. Okay, come on. Now you tie your knot. You're ready to do your next ring. Okay, there you go. Split rings. Isn't that fantastic? Now, there you go. Catherine will join. I will revisit that. I'll practice it. Okay, make sure I've got it. I don't use it enough. And it's like with anything in life. If you don't use it, you lose it. And I don't use the Catherine will join that much. I advise people that are going to display for competition and stuff like that to use it if they're using more than one color. But if you're only going to use one color, don't worry about it. Okay. Now, our next thing that we are going to do is going to be a throne ring. Now, throne rings on shuttle is easy. Throne rings on needle is easy unless you want to get technical. I gave you all a video from a young lady that shows how to do a thrown ring using 2 needles, and it's up there. It's not my video, it is someone else's. And she is an avid needle tatter, and I advise go to watch it. I'm going to give you that one for needle tatters. Okay, let me get my mouse working here. I believe that's hers. I'm not sure. Let me see here. No, that's one of mine. So I'll give it to you. That's the one I made. But I have other people's videos in the grouping. Okay. So y'all can try them. And, you know, if you get it from somebody else, fine. Okay. I don't mind you going somewhere else because I'm not perfect. All right. Now, what I'm going to do first, I am going to tat a chain here because we need to do a thrown ring. And usually thrown rings come off of a chain most times. They can also come off of another ring. I just blew your mind, didn't I? Now, we're going to do a chain here. Now, I'm just doing traditional tatting. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, we got 6 double stitches. Now we want to throw a ring off of this. That's weird. We want to throw a ring off. Okay? When you throw a ring off of a chain or another ring, it's all the same. You have 5 double stitches. You break off. This is your core thread. You lay shuttle 1. This was in my hand. We was making the double stitches. Okay? You lay that down. You pick up shuttle 2. You wrap your hand with shuttle 2. You do your ring. That first half stitch has to come up right next to these stitches, or you're going to have a problem called gaposis. Okay? I just froze. There we go. You don't want gaposis. I'm saying you do not want gaposis. It's going to show. So you hold it in the pinch. You come in with that second half, and you don't take it out of the pinch. You draw that second half down. That will get caught up. If it does, just move it out of the way after. Okay, all it's going to do is throw a picot in there you didn't need, and then you can tighten it up. All right, now you put in 5 more. 3, 4, 5. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tighten it up. Put a picot in. Okay. 1, 2, 3. We're going to need more thread. Open. Open says me, and do the spin. Always let it spin, folks. Every time you pull your thread, let it spin. Because if you don't, it's going to gather up at the other side when you get ready to close this ring. There's 4. Didn't go through. Come on. 4 and 5. Get out of the way. And we're going to close that ring. Put it in the pinch and close. Once you close the ring, then you take that same thread and you wrap your hand for the rest of your chain. And you put in 5 double stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, then you sit there and you lay it out on your table and you gander. Let me get this blue mat under here so we can see it. See that? And you fiddle and make it all nice and pretty. And there's your throne ring. You don't have gaposes. Well, that one does. Must have been when I tightened it up. Let's see. Get over there. There we go. We fixed it. No more gaposes. Well, yeah, we do. That's all right. I can't see squat. All right, so a ring off of a chain takes 2 shuttles. That is a throne ring. Now, a ring off of a chain in needle, you can use 2 needles if you want to. That's up to you. I don't like fighting with my thread. I don't like fighting with my needles. I don't like fighting with my shuttle. So, that said, let me thread this needle threader. We're going to use yellow this time. Where is the little thingy? Thingy. Come here, thingy. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this on needle. And this is the last thing I'm going to show you today. And then we'll come back to the onion ring on Thursday with Catherine will join. You thread your needle. I always put my needle threader up after I'm done. Okay. So that I don't lose it. Now, once you get that needle threaded, again, 12 to 16 inches of thread, okay? But because I'm just going to show you the throne ring and a chain, we're only going to leave enough thread for that. Don't forget our loop. Grab our thread and put on 5 double stitches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We got our 5 double stitches. Now, because this is a chain, we don't need to worry about that loop. Okay? It's not going nowhere. Okay? Now, we have to do our ring. Our ring comes in right where we left off, right there. See? Now, what you want to do is lay your needle right there next to that stitch and put your first half stitch in for your ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we're going to put a picot in. All right, 1, 2, pull that picot down, line it up, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, you see, we have our ring started. Don't forget to hold our loop, get our tail out of the loop, put our finger in the loop, okay? And then start pulling those stitches off. Hold that loop. Don't let that loop get away, because if it does, it's all going to collapse into the chain. Okay, come up. Close that ring. Okay, now you want to tie that knot, but don't. On a thrown ring, you do not want to tie your knot. You do want to fidget with everything. Okay. Now you put that right there, your needle right there, and you start feeding on your 5 double stitches. 1, 2. Everything's going to get fiddly because I didn't start off with a ring, but that's okay. 3, 4, and 5. And it jumped right over itself. See, needle tatting can give you fits too. Tatting gives you fits. Tatting has been known to teach people patience. Did y'all know that? It does. Now, when you pull this ring through, everything's going to tighten up, or pull this chain through. It will all tighten up. Okay? Everything will lay like it's supposed to. All right? And now you want to tie off that chain. Now you could tie off after the ring if you want. It shows. You have needle tatters that say don't do it. You have needle tatters that say do it. The choice is yours. Okay, I'm going to just state it like it is. The choice is yours. If you want it to show, fine. If you don't want it to show, fine. That's tatting 101. Okay, you make it your own. You do it your own way. But you're about to see why I don't like needle tatting, because this shows how loose your tatting really is in needle tatting. The difference between the two when you see it. Same size thread. Okay. Get it down here so y'all can see. I got them all. Yeah, I got them. So there you go. This is needle tatting. Same pattern. Okay. And now, mind you, if we was doing a pattern, all this would be lined up. Every bit of this would be lined up in the pattern. All right, let me read this. Melanie. So when we first add that first half stitch to close the gap, we do not count that in the overall number of double stitches in the regards to the shuttle. You count all your stitches. Okay, I don't know where you're coming up with the first half stitch. Who told you that? Let me switch over. Switch back to the camera. No, come on, mouse. Let's go. I guess it'd help if I got it on the right spot. I cannot see squat, folks. Not squat. Binoculars on, I still can't see. All right. Okay, you don't use an extra half stitch. Jan Stawas uses an extra half stitch at the end of each element, the beginning and the end. And that compensates for gaposis, the way he tats. But he does front side tatting. He does not reverse his work. Okay? So in order for the work to lay properly, he has to add that extra half stitch in. Okay? I've never heard of adding the first half stitch to close the gap and don't count that in the overall number of double stitches. The only thing I'm thinking, other than Jan's, is when you're doing a join in the throw ring. I've never seen that done. Never. I mean, you can do it. I mean, that's up to you. I've just never seen it done. That's your choice. And that's what I say. You got a ring off of a chain. Okay. Yeah. Get the first half stitch in and continue. That's what it is. But there are people that when they make a join, they consider that join as the first half stitch, and then they finish off with the second half stitch, and it makes it look like a double stitch. If I'm going to do that, I'll do a lark's head join, because then it doesn't turn, it lays flat like it should. But the throne ring's a throne ring. It's a ring coming off of something, okay, whether it's another ring or a chain. And she uses a lot of throne rings that she does use in her patterns, and it's to build for the next round. Okay, I don't know if any of you have seen any of the other people that have tatted her patterns, and they've used the colored threads to highlight certain areas of the pattern, and it shows the detail. And that is amazing, and she uses those throne rings to make that detail stand out. That's what makes her pattern so beautiful, is she pays attention to the details to make them pop. Okay, I'm sorry about that Catherine will join. I mean, my brain fart 101, I don't know. I guess it is because I am tired. It was a long night last night, very long night. And, no excuses, honestly, no excuses. It's just we're trying to get things done so we can get on the road and get out of here. Where we're at, it's racing season. Have y'all heard the nitrous cars go off at midnight? That's okay. That's okay. You're good. No worries. No worries. No worries. Yeah, they run nitrous over here quite often in motorcycle races at the racetrack. They're in the circuit for hot rods, and this week, every night, we got races. And it's, oh God. I told Dennis, I said, I'm so looking forward to it. I am looking forward to having peace and quiet. I may sleep for a week. I may be Rip Van Winkle for sure, because I have missed so much sleep. Teresa knows. I've talked to her, and I'm just dragging. And then you add the allergies in. I mean, you all are blurry. All of your words are blurry. I'm really having to strain. My eyes are watering. My nose is watering. And it's just no fun. I don't like allergies. And if I take the extra allergy pill, I can take one in the evening. But if I do that, I will sleep, but I'll also wake up with nosebleeds because it thins my blood so much. I'm already on enough blood thinners. Yeah, you and me both, Heather. But Thursday we'll go over that. Catherine will join. I'll practice it. Like I say, I don't use it enough to compensate. Maybe I should start. I don't know. But yeah, I'll practice it and I'll get it out there. But watch those videos. That's me teaching it. And that was Georgia's teachings right then and there, because it had to pass her before it went up on video. So, and hopefully I can get things settled. And when we get moved and get settled, yes. So I'm looking forward to it. And then life will return to some semblance of normalcy for a while. But Heather, I hope you come back. I do. I'm sorry about today, sweetie. I did not mean for that to happen. But that's one of the perks of teaching live. We show all our mistakes and boo-boos. And that's okay, because if I make a mistake, you learn how to fix it. Great. That's awesome. All right, guys, give me a thumbs up. All right. You can do super chat, super sticker, and super thanks. You can also donate. We've got 3 forms of donation on the website: PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App if you'd like to donate. It helps pay for all the stuff we have to use for the classes and our website. So with that said, I want you all to have a wonderful couple of days. I want you to practice your split rings and your throne rings, okay, for shuttle and needle both. All right, whatever tool you want to play with, you play with it and you practice those two techniques. Okay, then I want Thursday, we're going to focus strictly on onion ring and the Catherine wheel joint, because that's going to be important for you folks that are going to do two color tatting. All right, that said, I will see you all then. All right, so until then, have a wonderful rest of your day and have a wonderful next day, and I will see you on Thursday. Happy tatting, everybody. Bye bye.